going on, world? It's your boys, the NRW House of Black, back with another KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. I'm Kuya, and I'm joined by the squad. First up, let me throw it over to our Malachi Black of the squad. He's off on the road right now, but he's checking in. I'm super thankful because he didn't need to because he's working, but he's checking in. My brother, Webster Style. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. It's been a long week. I'm ready to go home.
I know you are. Well, we miss you, man. I hope everything's good, and thank you for checking in so we could get some of this conversation happening. And I know there's a lot to talk about. But before we do that, let me toss it over to our very own Brody King of the squad. Shiver Me Tassels! Coming up very soon, the sequel.
Yeah.
My man, Sean Mongold. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing all right. It's been a lot of crazy wrestling.
A lot of wrestling
on.
action.
A lot of shit going on, popping off on Twitter. It's just so much. It's so much good content the past week, man. It's so fucking just chef's kiss. Some shit's kind of stinker, obviously. But
yeah, you're right. Y'all, a lot of current stuff happening. I did recall what I have seen recently because I'm trying to again catch back up with the both of y'all. What I have been watching is more old school shit. I was trying to catch up. I think it was like on Sunday. I binged like 3 episodes of Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know if y'all are loving Dark Side of the Ring like I am, but yeah. I think I watched the JYD Junkyard Dog episode. Never knew my man was on cocaine like that.
Almost every wrestler back then was.
Basically, that is very true. But yeah, the JYD episode, the Adrian Adonis episode, and
I started watching that one,
if I'm not mistaken. But y'all, if y'all aren't checking Dark Side of the Ring,
it's wild, man.
It's great and it's amazing. I love it. Just these BTS stories of these wrestlers that we grew up loving. I don't know about y'all, but that's my time period of growing up and loving wrestling and hearing stuff that I didn't know about. Like JYD just broke my heart, and knowing that is spoiler alert. But if y'all know history, y'all, and you're a fan, you'll know his daughter passed away not too long after when he passed. I'm like, damn, just sad. Just made me sad, man. JYD, man, beast. But anyway. That's old school shit. We could do I would actually love to have some Dark Side of the Ring combo with you guys sometime. And who would you like to see on Dark Side of the Ring? That should be an upcoming episode of what kind of like BTS stories would you love to see. But
I think
let's talk about some current shit. Who wants to start? Let's go.
I guess we start off with Trinity winning the Knockouts title from Deonna Purrazzo.
Hey.
So they put the belt to her. I'm happy about that. Trinity is, again, I will continue to say, I think Impact and NXT have the best women's divisions in sort of mainstream. Even though nobody thinks Impact is like a big time player anymore, they have the best women's division in wrestling. And the depth in the Impact is just so deep. We were talking before, like, is she going to win it? Is she? Because it was really a toss up. And the fact they put the belt on her, and it was such a good match. I was like, I'm happy about that. But it's just a stacked division, regardless of who she goes up against next. I think probably a good opportunity for Mickie James to come back. That would be a good feud, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that would
definitely be good. Mickey versus old school Naomi,
because Jordan Grace,
they both came from the other place.
She's gone now. Yeah, because I think Jordan Grace is gone now, for a while, and but that
Jordan Grace is doing like the bodybuilding, right?
Yeah, she's doing bodybuilding. Yeah.
So her transformation's wild.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
That was insane. Her and Jonathan Gresham, like, bro. Yeah. Insane story right there.
Yes.
But now I'm like, I remember we had this conversation about what they were going to do. Like you kind of have to put it on Trinity, and it kind of shows like they're like doubling down on her, and they're all about her. You know what I mean? Like giving her a good reign, or maybe she just wanted to hold a belt for a little bit. I don't know. So it's going to be really curious to see what her first title defense is going to be.
I will say this, unless it's some sort of interim thing, and I see Purrazzo was a good person to have the belt on an interim basis to give it to Trinity because of her prestige with the belt and how she's wrestled with the belt and doing her title reigns, I'm like, okay, there's no disrespect or no shade. It doesn't make Deonna Purrazzo look weak, losing to Trinity. I think somebody else, that it was any other woman in the women's division, I think that if she'd won the belt and then lost to Trinity, I think that would have seriously diminished her as far as her strength of her character. But I don't think it does that for Deonna Purrazzo. And we were saying before, with Impact, you never know what they're going to do. Like Leo Rush won. He beat Chris Sabin for the X Division title. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis did lose. So, again, didn't know what was going to happen with that. They got new knockout champion MK Ultra with Marsha Slamovich and Killer Kelly. They beat the Coven. So, I mean, their titles changed hands to some degree. I'm interested in seeing how they are able to possibly even elevate the Knockouts division with Trinity as the title holder, because I think outside of Mickie James, this is probably the most high-profile female wrestler to hold that title in the past 5 years, if not longer.
Yeah.
From a standpoint of public knowledge, outside of Impact, just wrestling-wise. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do and see how they push her.
Yeah, I think I saw a meme, like the top 3 in recent years was Mickie James, Victoria, and now Naomi. Like the biggest.
Victoria hasn't won. Yeah, Victoria hasn't won in a while. Like, when the last time she wrestled?
I didn't even, I was like, wow, Victoria, where did this name come from? But only because it's on that list. I was like, I know Mickie James, obviously know Naomi, but like Victoria, well, that's a wild pool. But I'm intrigued with that. And then it makes me, as you all know, I'm a women's wrestling fan. Haven't really watched a lot of Impact. But with knowing that Naomi went there, seeing how she came on board. My thing is, and you touched upon it, how long will she have the belt, or just what is that longevity going to look like? Where is it going to go? I just hope the stars for her. You want to see her succeed. I was listening to an interview though, also when I was on the road and doing a lot of different things this week, with the Usos and with our Ariel Helwani. I'm messing up his name. I forgot.
Helwani. He's a UFC dude.
Yeah, but he's also into wrestling and stuff. And he was interviewing the Usos, and what I just picked up that I thought was very interesting. They were asking, "Is it Jimmy that's married to Naomi?" I think it's Jimmy. Not Jay.
It's Jimmy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Jimmy.
Jimmy was asked, what do you think about Naomi leaving and heading over there? And he obviously supports her, loves his wife, but what they did leave out is she would love to come back. And her heart is still there, and them both closing it out together, because Bloodline ain't going out of WWE.
Right.
Vince is going to pay. They've cemented their paycheck, and staying with the WWE. So his thing is they both want to kind of close it out together later on.
Was that the same interview where they where I think Ariel asked them if they were going to if they ever wanted to break up?
Yes.
And they were just like, that's like our retirement match. Like that's
they want to
do that
at WrestleMania
before the end, because we used to wrestle each other when we were kids. So it's kind of like, that would be like the final chapter. Like that would be like the perfect ending for our careers.
Yeah.
Is to have us go at each other, in singles competition at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And they did talk that, and I'm looking forward to that, brother.
Bro,
that would be so amazing.
Jay,
great interview. Shout out to Ariel Helwani. I'm fucking up his name, but I just love that interview. But just I'm just curious. I hope just Impact is good for her for if probably another year, however long she's gonna stay.
Man,
but then I would love to see her back over there. But I just want her to get her respect though. I don't want her to, if Vince is gonna disrespect her like he did, or whomever is running the creative. Y'all know who it is. I just want her to just get her respects. Impact is respecting the hell out of her right now.
Look,
yes,
she does go back. While I would love to see her be with her husband, I just want her to be respected.
Since you brought this up,
go ahead, Sean.
Since you brought this up, let's continue talking about the women's matches.
Let's go.
Because on fucking Raw, they had fucking Chelsea Green and fucking Sonya Deville fucking get the fucking tag titles from Liv and Raquel, who just won it the week before. What the fuck? Like, why would you? Like, there was a point in time where I was just like, okay, they could easily put the belt on fucking Chelsea and Sonya. Like, back when they were like, I forgot who they were feuding with Liv and Raquel. And it was going on and on and on. But for some reason, they gave the belts to fucking Ronda and Shayna. And it made zero fucking sense. And now they Liv and Raquel beat them because Shayna turns on Ronda. Shocker. And like literally Ronda delivered like the worst fucking promo ever. I can't remember if it was this past Monday or the previous Monday, but she was up in the bleachers and she was talking shit.
I think it was this Monday.
Was it this Monday? I think it was this Monday. So,
yes.
And so Brock, all right, so give you a little tidbit. Cody came out and challenged, Brock again, and Brock came out and beat his ass. And, and was just like, challenge accepted. See you at SummerSlam, bitch. Just in Brock Lesnar's weird ass high pitched voice. And literally Ronda Rousey said the same exact fucking thing as Brock Lesnar to Shayna. And I'm just like, dog, like, what are you doing right now? Like, get the fuck back to UFC, dude. Like, y'all turned the fucking this whole women's division into like this weird circle jerk around people that you want to push, And like Rhea's great. I love Rhea, but she hasn't defended the fucking belt in I don't know how long. She's becoming like Roman. And I think she's injured, and I think they just want to keep her on her because Dirt Sheet says they're trying to put like Judgment Day to them is the next bloodline. After this story gets told of Bloodline, like Judgment Day is like to the moon. That's why they give Dom this fucking belt, because they didn't want him to didn't want him going over fucking Austin Theory, because Austin Theory is also a heel, and then they can't fucking ruin Gunther like that by letting Dom beat him. So this was the only thing. It kind of sucks because I hate how they dip into NXT like that. And then what's he going to do? Like, is he just going to be on Raw with the fucking North American belt? Like, I don't know. Like, I see what they're doing. I think it's unfair to the talent in NXT.
I'm really on the opposite of you of everything you just said, Sean. It's weird to say.
With NXT or with the women's division?
I mean, everything. I'm starting with the women's division. Okay. I agree with you with what you said as far as a whole about the women's division. I wasn't mad with Sonya and them winning. I said before, I've never been a big fan of Liv and Raquel. I feel like Chelsea and Sonya have been very much positioned in storyline as a team. They feel like a tag team. They feel like a unit together. Liv and Raquel never did, in my opinion. They always seemed like a couple that was slapped together, and that was one of my biggest criticisms of the women's tag division anyway. Nobody felt like a team. The complaint department, as I'll call them, feel like a team. So
I agree there. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. Like, I like them as a team. I do. I really like they're really good together in the ring. They have good personalities. They're great fucking heels. I just hate how they squashed their momentum like a month ago in order to give the run to Shayna and and then all of a sudden, like a week after they win the belts from Shayna and Ronda, they pick up this feud again, but it's kind of dead. It's dead in the water. It's exactly how I feel about Chris Statlander. Even though it wasn't her fault that she went away, she got injured, but her entire momentum died.
Yeah,
and that's what pissed me off. I'm like, she comes back in her debut, she beats Jade. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, and I know Jade wanted a break, but like that just pissed me off. That didn't make me like Chris Statlander more. I was just like, you need to build her back up and gain the momentum that she used to have. And like, if they would have like elongated, and there's speculation on like Liv got injured again in the ring, and that's why they gave it to complaint department. And that might be the case. And if that's the case, so be it. Like, I'm still going to enjoy them because, like you said, they are a cohesive unit. They feel like a team. Liv and Raquel they're just two randos they put together. I feel like almost like AEW's mixed blind tag tournament bullshit.
Exactly.
But I'm sorry. Continue going with what you're saying.
No. Everything in the upside, I agree with. The Ron and Shayna thing. This is a feud that should have happened a year ago after Royal Rumble. Well, was it Royal Rumble last year? Not even this year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. So yeah, they killed a lot of that momentum because of what they did with that. I agree with that. I hope they're course correcting with this decision and putting the belts on them. Now, going to the Dom situation, this is something like when I saw this, and this is one of the few things I saw online this week, and I saw that whole thing as far as the match and how it happened. And I just said, I'm not really mad at this. I'm not mad at it because it didn't diminish Wesley, in my opinion, by having him everything, of course, because there's a bunch of shenanigans because it's Judgment Day.
Yeah.
It brings more light to North American title because Dom will have it on Raw or SmackDown, wherever they at. He ain't going to hold the belt long. At least he shouldn't. I hope not. Because right now, the Great American Bash, it was supposed to be Mustafa Ali versus Wes Lee for the title, and that would have been a fucking barn burner. So what I'm thinking is they're going to set up a three-way, and I can see Dom dropping it quickly, just like they had Solo drop it quickly when he won it and came up. When he came up, then went back down and won it, and then stripped it from on a technicality just to give the belt more prominence as a way of not diminishing any of those people. Given, say, Dom had a title, get off him real quick, and it still has that prestige to the bloodline. And then maybe after everything is done, push him in a different way.
But see, that's the continuity issue that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Solo had won it, and right when he went to the main roster, they stripped him of it. Dom's always been main roster.
Right.
Always. And they just go invade NXT and he wins the belt. And now they're probably going to be okay with him bringing it to Raw. And that's fine. Like, I understand, it brings more eyes to the belt in NXT and things like that. And I can understand that. But, you know what I mean? Like, if you make a rule and then you flip-flop on it, and it just throws me off a little bit and it throws me out of it. And
that I understand.
I can see the belt benefiting from Dom more so than Dolph Ziggler when they let Dolph win it.
Yeah.
Or I think Dolph won the actual NXT championship.
Yeah, he won the NXT championship. Yeah.
I can see it more because there's so much heat on Dom, and their merch sales are through the roof, and people are just excited to see, they're waiting for Dom to get his ass kicked. And that's why people are going to watch, because he's such a great heel. So right. I can understand it from that point. It's just depending on what they do with it. If he brings it to the main roster and he holds on to it for a while, that just screws over a lot of NXT talent.
That I agree with. If they do that, yeah, I would be really upset with that, because it does screw up, especially, that North American picture has been white hot lately.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good fucking talent.
Yeah,
and
a whole lot of talent.
It sucks that it went to Dom. But anyway, I digress. I think they're aiming for all of them to get gold, be like the bloodline and be draped in gold. Rhea's going to have the championship. Fucking Dom's going to have the championship. Fucking Damian Priest is going to cash in on Seth Rollins and probably win that. And then Finn, I don't know what Finn does. Maybe Finn gets, and that starts more of the jealousy thing. He's the leader, but he's the only one without gold. Who knows what happens there? And we'll see. But yeah, that's Raw. That's the only things I care about Raw. That was, Brock came out, beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes yet again. Still don't know why they're feuding. Yelled at his mom, pretended to break his arm. Cody sold it again like his arm is broken, even at his documentary premiere. Cool.
And do y'all want to see that? I didn't even know it was happening. So do you all want to see the American Nightmare documentary?
Want to. just to see how much footage they actually put in it from like New Japan. Like if they are, it will. I know, like, so they got the rights, they got the privilege to use shit from BTE.
That's what I read too. I was curious, and that makes me want to see it.
Yeah, so I'm just curious if they're actually going to show shit like from New Japan when he had like the black hair and shit like that, and everything was actually like full face heel, American Nightmare.
Shit. Are they going to get stuff from Impact?
Right. So it's just like, how much are they going to follow in this documentary? So I'm curious. I'm going to watch it just because I'm curious as to how much they're going to divulge. Like, are they going to admit that there's other companies out there?
Exactly.
Finally, like, since it's a documentary, maybe. But they're not going to mention it on commentary. But anyway, I think we've talked way too much about WWE. I don't care about it that much anymore. I want to get
to some over to AEW though.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Collision and Battle of the Belts first.
Let's go.
Because by fucking God, the fucking first match on, what was it, Collision? I think it was Collision, was fucking Bullet Club Gold versus FTR in a 2 out of 3 fucking pinfall or submission, and it was a fucking slobber knocker. It was such a good fucking match. Please, even if you don't watch anything else AEW related, go back and watch that fucking match. It was so fucking good. Like, there's so many callbacks. Like, there's one point fucking Jay White like starts to like tune it up like he's gonna hit Sweet Chin Music, and they're in fucking Canada. People are fucking booing him, and he fucking like just like nah, and then hits the fucking sharpshooter, and then everyone starts cheering and shit like that. Like, there's just so much good storytelling in the ring, and that's what I love. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the best like promo storytelling, but it's the best in-ring storytelling. And there's so many callbacks because there's such a rich history amongst all these wrestlers throughout all the indies and all the other promotions that you don't get with WWE. You're not allowed to really call to those things that you've had, all this interaction before. You know what I mean? Like, even with Ricochet and fucking Adam Cole, when they used to have matches, like, they never called to that when Adam Cole was back at WWE. But that's just one example. But so another good thing, and I want to hit on this, is that AEW's production is getting better. And I say this, it's been 5 years, and I say this because there's one badass shot that they got. They had like this boom, like this jig camera that's coming, and I think it was can't remember. One of them was getting up on the turnbuckle for a superplex. And then I think it was Dax was superplexing fucking Jay White. And then Cash came over with another, like an elbow or something like that. And then like they panned it as they're getting up to the turnbuckle. This pan comes over and you start seeing this wide angle view, and it starts panning to the rest of the crowd, and the crowd standing up, like almost like in a wave formation or whatever. And then they hit the superplex, and then you see Cash diving, and then it switches to another angle where you see fucking the Goblin motherfucker, Juice Robinson, diving over, missing, but then like trying to like, and then there's like another angle where it's on the ground where you see his face like trying to like grab Jay White because he got fucked up from the superplex. And it was just so good. I was just like, wow. I was like, they're really getting good. Like, yeah, you'll get your occasional like cameraman who's obsessed with Sky Blue's ass, and just like right up.
Ain't mad
ass.
at him though. Ain't mad at him.
Someone in the production truck's just like, yes, that angle. So someone in that production truck is also just like, bet. You got me the shot I wanted. Hey. But yeah, so big ups to the production team. That match, like I said, amazing match. Jay White is just such a phenomenal athlete, man.
That I agree with.
White is just like, he's just so phenomenal. Like, promo wise, like, he is a full package, in my opinion, of a wrestler. You know, like the in-ring storytelling, the athleticism, like the look, fucking, you know, the promo game, like just the heel-ish fucking nature to him. Like, it was just so fucking good. You know, moving on to Collision, we had Willow versus Athena. That was so fucking good. I did not, like I said, we were talking about, I didn't know which way I was going to go. I didn't, like, I was just like, are you going to give Athena her first loss? Or are you going to fucking stagger Willow's momentum right now as like your one true baby face in the company? You know what I mean? Like, what were you going to do? And obviously they went with Willow, and it was just such a fucking good match. Like, there were so many good bumps, and like, there's just good heat between those two. And I think there's going to be more. You know what I mean? I actually read an interview where Willow was just like, I want to wrestle Athena more. Like, you know, she's kind of my idol.
And like, that's dope.
We're like opposing personalities, but it makes for good in-ring fucking chemistry.
Yeah.
And then we also got CM Punk and Ricky Starks. Also, we didn't know where this was going to go, because we were just like, are they trying to push CM Punk? Are they going to give him something? Is it too soon? We don't know. But then at the same time, like, what are they going to do with Ricky? Like, are they going to stunt his momentum? But like, we're like, you know, push Ricky to the fucking moon. And it was a great match. Like, they were fucking exhausted. They were fucking each other up. Like, props to CM Punk. Like, he looks great. You know, Ricky obviously looks amazing. But they're teasing like a heel turn for Ricky. So they do this like back and forth, like roll around pin situation after like 20 minutes of wrestling or whatever. And fucking Ricky gets the fucking roll up as they are rolling around, and like grabs the rope and gets the fucking rope and gets the 3 count and wins. And CM Punk's just like, what the fuck? And then he runs off, and then Liger is up at the top with the fucking the trophy for the Dean, because he just won the fucking Owen Cup or whatever. And literally, like, he comes up to Liger and just like pushes Liger out of the way and grabs the fucking cup and just walks off, like didn't like shake his hand or anything. And people just started booing instantly. And I'm like,
why did they do
so that? Over. He was so over. What the fuck are you doing right now?
Yeah.
And then at Battle of the Belts, which is like the next hour after Collision, they go and they bring out Martha Hart, and she comes out and makes an announcement, and then gives the prizes, the belts and the trophies to Willow and Ricky. And even when they came out, Ricky was being like a little weird with Willow. And I was like, what the fuck are they doing right now?
Like they're already starting that kind of transition, you think?
Like that heel turn. I'm like, just because you want, even if you want CM Punk to be a face, like, you didn't need to turn fucking Ricky heel.
Nah, not at all.
And that's like, that was a weird thing, especially since you just turned Jack Perry heel.
Right.
It made zero sense. Battle of the Belts, I'm not going to bog y'all down with anything because the card kind of sucked. Everyone retained their belts. None of the belts exchanged hands. It was like Orange Cassidy versus Lance Archer, which was great, but it was obviously like a weird roll-up bullshit situation because, you know, they're not going to fucking make Lance Archer lose fucking cleaned out by fucking Orange Cassidy.
Right.
And then it was Tony Storm versus Taya Valkyrie, which obviously Tony won. And then it was Luchasaurus versus Shawn Spears. And that was a good match. Like, Shawn Spears, obviously he's in Canada, he's a little bit over. Good match, but you know, I could have done without it. And also there was a new commentator, Ian Riccaboni or some shit like that from ROH.
Dude from ROH, yeah.
He sucks. I'm sorry. That was very aggressive. He sucks. He sucks.
I didn't hear him, but being familiar with his style, I definitely can see why you say that, especially with
Nigel
AEW's presentation.
Yeah.
Well, he and Nigel used to do ROH together as well. But yeah, I am used to him on ROH, and him and Caprice. The their style always fit their presentation to me.
Like he was giving very JR. He kept fucking up people's names. He kept on saying the completely wrong name for the wrestler. He kept saying ROH instead of AEW. Over and over for 3 hours. Like, it was bad. And I understand, like, ROH and AEW are the same company, and he's only been with ROH. But, like, Kelly, what's his name? Rich Kelly? Not Rich Kelly. Who was the other commentator who was also from ROH?
Is it Caprice? Is that the guy?
Something Kelly. Something Kelly. His last name is Kelly. But he was ROH, and he was fine. He did like the first 2 collisions, and for some reason, for this one leading in the Battle of the Belts, they brought out Ian. So this is his first time here. So I'm going to give him a little leniency here. Like, I think this is his first AEW called match. You know, maybe he was nervous, so I'll give him another chance. But like, man, like this is like a paper, like, Battle of the Belts. You know what I mean? Like, this was like, but I digress. That was great. Battle of the Belts, could have done without. Wasn't.
Now,
you know,
let me ask you a question, because I didn't see it, but I follow Willow, so I know they got those belts for the tournament. Are they going to mean anything other than ornamental value?
Oh man, so I fucked that all up. So Willow fought Athena on Rampage, and then I missed it. She fought Ruby at Collision. I forgot all about that. I can't really remember her match with Ruby because I fucking was so excited for the Athena match. But obviously she beat Ruby as well. So it was literally like night after night, even though they pre-record Rampage. But yeah, so now what was your question? I'm sorry.
As far as the belts that they won for the Owen Hart tournament, do they mean anything? Because I thought it was kind of odd that they gave them belts.
Not really. It kind of signified when Adam and Britt won it last year. It kind of signified like a mixed tag situation kind of thing, I guess, if you will. But no, like, you never saw the belts again. Like, I think Britt and Adam wore them for like a couple weeks after they won it, and it doesn't.
I don't even remember them having belts last year. So all right,
yeah, they had the belts.
I get it.
But yeah, it was wild. But yeah, and then we kind of fast forward to Dynamite, which was Blood and Guts, which was just fucking amazing. Like, this MJF and Adam Cole team up, y'all. I am fucking sports fucking entertained, and this is not even a sports entertainment company. Like, this motherfucking MJF. Like, if you follow any of the shit from like the past previous weeks, they've been doing like these bro things where it's just like, yeah, bro, like, we're at the bar, we're drinking, we're hitting on chicks and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like really over the top stupid. And like, even like, they reviewed the video game for a Fight Forever, and you know how MJF feels about video games. And like, they did this whole thing where they're like playing the game together, and they do like a double clothesline. So that's been their thing. They're trying to hit this double clothesline the whole time through. And like, last Dynamite, they beat Big Bill and Brian Cage, and MJF fucking body slammed Big Bill. So like, at Dynamite, they did this thing where they went out to eat and they're drinking, and he was like, yeah, I power slammed that 600-pound Big Bill in front of 50,000 screaming Canadians, and this and the other, like, just going over the top. And it's just so good. And like, they get backstage and they're just like, oh, bro, I got you something. I got you a present. And like, MJF brings out like matching panties or whatever, like wrestling panties. And then Adam Cole's like, dude, bro, I got us matching jackets. And it's like the Burberry jackets. And he's like, I also got another surprise for you. And MJF comes out to, like, you know, his music on Wednesday, Blood and Guts. And then they usually go and play Adam Cole's music. Well, they cut off MJ's music, and you hear MJF's music come on again. He's like, guys, what are you doing? Like, stop. And it's a remix of Adam Cole's intro and MJF's intro, and it's fucking fire. Like, it's so fucking good. And like, MJF's reaction is like just spot, like, he's just such a good actor, and he just lays it on thick. And they get in there with fucking Daniel Garcia and fucking Sammy Guevara, and they essentially just have a dance off the whole time. And I fucking die because Danny Garcia does the little like the hip thrust with the joint, you know, and fucking MJF did it, and they're going back and forth. And then they like fucking MJF just got out of the ring, went over to the soundboard and fucking hit a song. Was like, we're doing a dance off. And by God, I think the funniest thing ever is that Sammy Guevara has zero rhythm.
I'm not surprised at that for some reason.
And I don't know if it's a play, and I don't know if it's just like for show. Because, you know, of course, Adam Cole comes in and does his Twitch dance, which is just like very hard thrusting in the air and shit like that, and doing like these numbers or whatever. And it's just, and MJF's like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, stop. And then they end up wrestling. Great fucking match. I loved it. There's a lot of storytelling. Like, they're trying to do this double clothesline thing, and they end up winning. And then they already teasing like a little bit of a breakup because, you know, MJF's cheering, like he's just so happy. He's getting the whole crowd behind him, chants and shit. And the ref tries to give him the belt, but he's not looking. So Adam Cole takes it, and then he's looking at it. And then MJF turns around and sees him looking at it and was like, bro, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, give me my belt. Like, stop staring at it. And like, they have to defuse it. But then like FTR comes out because now that means they won the finals. So now they get a chance at the tag team championship, which is coming up the 29th. I think it's Collision next week, not this week. And for you who don't know, I think Dax and MJF actually have like true heat. So seeing them in the fucking ring together, like they were like nose to nose. And I was just like, bro, like this is going to be fucking good. And I don't know if it's because of the CM Punk shit, you know, but like, yeah, that you can tell like just the energy, like Dax fucking hates MJF. So this is going to be an amazing match. I can't fucking wait. And then on Blood and Guts, we get a Jack Perry promo where he buries Jungle Boy. He's in a desert and he like buries, like he's dragging a body, and you see like the Jungle Boy boots, and he buries him, and he comes out to like Beethoven. Like a fucking biker jacket on. And you know what? It just fucking works.
Yeah, I've been reading about that and hearing, you know, because again, I've got so much to catch up on. Like, dude, man, there's a lot I'm looking forward to, man. I can't wait.
It fucking works. And he beat Hook. It was a great match.
I was surprised at that.
He fucking beat Hook. He has the FTW match, and then like fucking Taz was pissed. Like you just feel like, you know, it's
was it for the FTW title?
Yeah, man. So Jack Perry has the title. He's got his first singles title.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I really want it. I tweeted this. I really want for him, even though he's heel, I want him to like start talking shit to Christian. And like, I want it to culminate in like a fucking like custody battle for Luchasaurus. Like, I really want it to be like, and like have them team up again, have them be like a new age, you know, Jungle Express, whatever the fuck. And both of them also have their own singles titles, because Christian's obviously trying to say he has a title, but he doesn't. Luchasaurus does. And I want, you know what I mean? I want there to just be something like, I don't see an issue with a heel going against a heel. A heel hates everybody. Heels don't have to like other heels. You know what I mean? So I think that would be great. I think that would be amazing. And also another thing to note that I forgot about, Chris Jericho was out announcing that match of MJF and Adam Cole versus Danny Garcia and Sammy Guevara. And when they lost, they were walking up, and you know, Chris Jericho came up and was like clapping, was like, "Hey guys, like good try." They walked right past Chris Jericho because they're also doing this whole thing because Don Callis is trying to recruit Chris Jericho. Whether Chris Jericho is going to Don Callis family, which I don't really give a shit about. You know, I don't really care. But you know, there's a bunch of Jerichoholics. They gotta appease them. And then Blood and Gut. Let's see. They threw in a whack ass women's match because, you know, if they didn't, they would have been yelled at. And it was Britt Baker versus some like person from the area that they're in Boston, I think it was. It kind of sucks that they didn't have like a true women's match for Blood and Guts. But they gave a lot of time to the MJF match, and obviously because he's a champion, and then obviously the big ass fucking blood and guts cage match with fucking BCC and fucking Golden Elite was going to take up a lot of time because they do like everyone, like every 5 minutes a new person enters, you know, kind of ordeal. So they needed a lot of time. And that brings us to that match. Bro, that was a fucking match. Like, motherfucking Jon Moxley brought out a bed of nails, dog.
Yeah, I didn't see that part because I only ended up seeing the last 10 minutes of the match, but I saw it online. I'm like, he brought out what?
There was like a little tweet that I had a put on where it was just like, AEW makes a list of like all these things that you can't do in the ring, blah blah blah.
I saw you send that. Yeah.
And then Jon Moxley is like, "Hey, yo, TK, what about better nails?" Well, no, I don't. That's not on the list. Why? No reason. No reason, bro. He slammed fucking Kenny Omega into this fucking shit. Like kicked him, like propped up against the turnbuckle, kicked him into it. He bounced off the motherfucker. The motherfucker fell on top of his shoulder, and then he like fucking power slammed him onto the bitch. Like, and then was stomping on his hand, like egging on fucking Kota Ibushi when he finally came out, just flipping him off while he's stepping on Kenny's hand on this bed of nails. Like, it was just such a hard image. It was also really funny that they were advertising like donating blood for the Red Cross, and like everyone's just like leaking blood throughout this whole match, and even the commentators, like the commentary team, was just like, "That's kind of funny, like that's a little ridiculous." But yeah, no, it was a great match.
That's perfect.
A lot of good spots. Pac had a great spot where he like fucking like did the monkey bar thing, and then someone's in the middle of the rings on a table, and he just like falls down from there and does a stomp through a table. Like, just so many like tacks were involved. You know, Screwdriver. Jon Moxley ran in that motherfucker with a fork and just started stabbing motherfuckers like off a jump. Like, he's just a fucking gremlin, man. I fucking love it. And it culminated, obviously, for some reason. I know why. So Pac ended up getting hit by Claudio, which they have history, and he pretty much stormed out of there because he was all pissed off, like flicking him off. And it was also because they wanted them to go against each other for Death Before Dishonor, which is coming up this Friday, I think.
Yes, the 21st. Yes.
So they set that up for story purposes, and then after that, Don Callis was commentating, seeing that BCC was losing the edge, and like called Takeshita, over, and then Takeshita left, so it was essentially 5 against 3, and motherfucker, they are like, they destroyed Wheeler Yuta, dog.
Yo, can we give some props to Yuta Wheeler, please? The way he took that, and I'm like,
he looked like he was going through it, like he was acting.
Yes.
They had this motherfucker bloodied, a fucking giant chain wrapped around his neck, and fucking yanking on that bitch, and he didn't give up. It was actually Jon Moxley that was like, we give up, because he was handcuffed, so he couldn't do anything. And he saw what was happening to Yuta, so he was like, we give up, like, stop. And apparently, like, afterwards, they, when the show went off, and like the crowd said that they apparently shook hands at the end of it all. So I don't know, I guess this is the end of the feud that's been going on for like 8 months. I don't know, but
not a bad way to end it.
Yeah, Kota Ibushi came out, he fucking wrecked shit, It was a great match, man. Fucking 10 out of 10 for that episode of Dynamite, because Jesus Christ, it was just like no bad notes except for the women's match, which I would have preferred a longer women's match. But that's about it. But yeah, shit's crazy.
Lot to catch up, man. I feel like, but I'm excited. Y'all got me geeking for what's coming up.
Yeah, man.
Any other final notes on your side, Webster Style, before we get up out of here?
Man, I'm good. I mean, that Blood and Guts really, I'd say I didn't see most of the match. I only really came to the tail end because of everything I got going on here. But even just the 10, 15 minutes I saw, I was like, damn.
Brutal.
Damn. Yeah, brutal.
Fucking brutal.
And, I will say this, though, and I've talked about my fatigue of the Elite. I would give them props on this one. I ain't seen much, but I was impressed like hell, especially with Kenny Omega. That was the Kenny Omega I remember watching New Japan back in the day. I don't know what I've been seeing lately. I wasn't getting that vibe from him, but that's the dude that I understood why all the hype was about. I saw that guy last night.
Yeah. I love Kenny. I'm over the Elite. I wish they would have gave it to BCC, but I know why they did it is to set up more stories for BCC, because now this causes a rift with Pac. So now Claudio can go against Pac. This causes a rift with Don Callis and Takeshita, since they fucking, betrayed them and hightailed it out of there. And this also lets them go back to fucking Eddie and be like, yo, we should have asked you. We were wrong. I apologize. Like, I should have squashed beef with you. And, and just, at least you wouldn't have turned tail. You know what I mean? Like, Eddie wouldn't have turned, like, his character would not have let him betray Jon Moxley, no matter how much he hated Claudio, Right. Which also, why all the hate for Claudio? Pac hates him. Fucking Eddie hates him. I don't understand. He's such a nice guy.
I don't know.
Makes him on a nice little swing.
Right. I like a good swing. He did that. He did it. I forgot who he did it to, but he did it during Blood and Guts. So that was nice to see that. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the match is going to be like for Death Before Dishonor. And other cool notes on dirt sheets for Death Before Dishonor. There's a lot of like last minute changes because Joe was supposed to be off for like promoting and shit like that, and he was supposed to be like more acting, even though he just came fucking back.
But Screen Actors Guild, the strike.
Yep. So with the strike happening, he cannot be present for like San Diego Comic-Con. He cannot be doing anything else. So he apparently is going to be back in the fold of ROH a little bit more for the time being, just, while the strike is happening. So it's all very kind of up in the air in regards to all that, which, I feel like Athena has a match coming up by Death Before Dishonor too.
I think she's against Willow.
Is it Willow again too? All right, that's what I thought.
Think so.
Which that's yet again going to be a great match. I can't wait. Like, I don't think they're going to give the belt to Willow since Willow just won the ON Cup. But this is just going to continue the feud, so it's just going to be good wrestling, and that's what I'm about. I'm about good wrestling. So.
All right. Yes. Man, I got a lot to catch up on, y'all. I'm excited. This y'all know how I feel about Dom and Rhea. Lots to catch up on, y'all. All right. So you got everything in you that you wanted to talk about, Sean? I want to make sure before we get up out of here. There's no pay-per-view this weekend. There's no picks. When is Death Before Dishonor? Is that like next week?
Friday.
No, it's
Friday.
Oh, is this Friday? Okay.
Yeah, it's coming up.
I'm so out of the loop right now. So I guess we're not going to get picks for that right now. Or is there a particular pick y'all want to say because we're recording our episode for this week?
I don't even know the card.
Yeah, they haven't really even fully announced the card, which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
Same for Collision this weekend. They haven't really announced like the card for Collision because I have a friend going to it and he's kind of pissed. He doesn't know who's going to be there.
I feel like there's a tag match that I think I know. Lucha Bros, they have a tag match. I don't even remember who it's against. But I feel like Lucha Bros is going to win anyway, so it don't matter who they're against.
So then next week, we will recap the results of Death Before Dishonor. Hopefully, I'll be caught up.
All right, I got it. So let's do a quick fire run. I know we have no time, but let's do a fire run of Death Before Dishonor. So number one, Claudio, Pac. Who you got, Eldon?
Claudio.
No, you good?
Yeah. No, I can't see them giving the belt to Pac right now since he just came fucking back. All right, cool.
Right.
Number two, Samoa Joe versus Dalton Castle with the boys. So this is a singles match for the ROH World Television Championship that Joe currently has.
I gotta go with Samoa Joe.
I'm gonna go with Samoa Joe, but I want Dalton Castle to have a push. At some point, I want him to. I just love Dalton Castle.
Honestly, I'm going to go with Dalton. I'm going to go with Dalton Castle just because if the strike does go, because I mean, Joe's going to be gone. Yeah. Right when the strike ends, he's going to be gone. Like to keep a championship on him is kind of not fair. So I'm going to go with Dalton. I think they're going to make that decision, and it's probably going to be some bullshit. Boy's probably going to help, So I mean, Joe's not going to lose clean, Number 3, Shibata versus Danny Garcia for the Pure Wrestling Championship.
I think they put it back on Danny Garcia.
You think so?
Yeah. I feel like they want to keep it in house now because it's not really defended that much.
Yeah, I can see that. It would be a great push for Garcia, I think.
Yeah,
but
maybe a 2-time Pure champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I gotta say, I can see Garcia. Yeah,
I can see it too. Okay.
I'm not strong on either, so
I don't want him.
Garcia. Yeah.
I don't want him to win it. I want it to stay on Shibata.
I agree with you on that one though.
But I think Danny. I think you're right. I think you put up a good argument. I think Danny gets it. All right, number 4, Athena versus Willow Nightingale for the championship, the ROH Women's World Championship.
I agree with what you said before. I'm going with Athena because I don't think they're going to have Willow beat her twice.
Yeah.
Same.
All right, cool. All right, and the last match that they have here, I don't know if this is all of them, but this is all they have listed, is Lucha Bros. So there's going to be Penta and Ray versus the Kingdom for the ROH World Tag Team Championship, and that's Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Also versus Best Friends, Chucky T and Trent Barretta versus Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. Current champions are Lucha Bros, obviously. So who do we think gets this?
I didn't realize it was a fatal 4-way. I'm feeling like it's the Kingdom, but Lucha Bros ain't taking the pin. I feel like Best Friends is there to take the pin.
Oh no, my boys can't catch a break.
That's exactly. They can't catch a break.
Man, and you know what? I think that can also set up a good feud for them because they don't get a lot of time. It's all Orange Cassidy up on the main roster. Yeah. So, the Best Friends, the original 2, they don't get a lot of time. So I think this would be a good way for them to get some more screen time is to like start up a feud with the Kingdom, and have like some kind of grudge against them and be more on ROH. Because Aussie Open's not really with them, so I don't see them winning or taking the fall. And like you said, same with Lucha Bros. You can't make them take the fall, so it's either one or the other. Either Kingdom or Best Friends win or they get pinned. One or the other.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. For me, Lucha Bros is my betting man's pick. Who
you think they're going to retain?
Yeah, that's my betting man's pick. But Aussie Open, not even a tick with me. I don't know enough of them to give them a tick. Best Friends deserve a push. Like I wouldn't be upset with that. Like I'm with you on that.
I agree with.
But I would say the Kingdom is to me. I'm torn between Lucha Brothers and the Kingdom, and I want to say that when I went to the very last Ring of Honor before the buyout with AEW, I met them, Matt and Mike, probably the nicest guys, as well as Maria. They stayed after the event, and I got their autographs, met them, took pictures with the 3 of them. Just awesome people. So I think they deserve shine and more love. And so you want to see good people win, and that's how I feel about the Kingdom. So
and Maria's going to be ringside with them. So I mean, it could be some fuck shit. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Best Friends has been there since 2019.
Yeah, they deserve.
They haven't gotten a fucking belt. They haven't gotten shit.
Right.
Outside of Orange is getting everything, and I think the other 2 guys need more love. Yeah.
Orange. I'm curious who they're going to let take it from Orange, because my man's been on a rip for a while. I don't know who they're going to give that push to, but it's going to be interesting. One last thing, because I know you're Mercedes Monet. I heard in the dirt sheets, I've heard inklings from people, very vague status posting on Twitter about a huge thing happening at All In. So
man, I'll lose my shit if Mercedes pops up, bro.
So I mean, and Tony Storm's been on a tear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's either that or Chris Statlander. But I mean, Chris Statlander really hasn't really been showcased since she's won the belt. So it's kind of weird.
Let me tell you, if there's anybody that can inject some life in that division, it's Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
Because they're just, and the thing is, she would do it despite the horrible booking that they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think that if she pops up, though, I think that'll give them more of a reason to have more women's matches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because even if Mercedes doesn't have a belt, like she can carry a storyline because of her pull, you know, her notoriety, you know, so it's just, they need to do more of their women.
Yeah, period. I agree.
Period.
We all agree about that. That's something that I think is a constant criticism that we have of AEW as far as their women's division as a whole. Like they get some things right, but as a whole, they're consistently floundering with really propping the women's division. And that's been a criticism since the jump, honestly.
Yeah. No, it has been. Definitely. All right. That was it.
That has been this week's episode, y'all. KayFabeyBaby. We're going to have, I guess, our results from these picks that we just said. We'll talk about that next week. I'll catch up. We'll have more Collision talk. We'll have more SmackDown, Raw. A lot is happening right now. So I'm looking forward to our conversation next week, y'all. Man, and hopefully I won't suck, because next week I'm going to have a special thing around my neck, y'all. I'm going to leave it like that. I might tell y'all when we get offline. Okay. I'll let the viewers see what I have around my neck, but I'm not going to suck next week. I'm going to be feeling like a 1996 medal holder next week, y'all. Yeah, I've been digging into my most wanted treasures, if you will. Stay tuned next week, y'all. All right, Sean, how can people reach out to you and follow you and all the things?
Hey, so people can follow me on socials at SMongoldVO as in voice over, on Instagram, Twitter, and stuff like that. That's really the only ones. I'm not like a Gen Z person, so I don't have TikTok or anything. Maybe I should. I don't know. It might be a thing coming up. Maybe I got to do more videos. I hate editing, so no, I don't like it. And then, of course, Shiver Me Tassels this weekend. If you like pirates, if you like boobies and booty, all the good things like everyone's searching for. X marks the spot, baby. It's at DC Brow, right here in Washington, DC, off of Bladensburg Road. It's the 22nd Saturday. We only have like 20 tickets left. So if you want, just go to Eventbrite and look up Shiver Me Tassels.
There you go.
That's it.
All right. Much love to you on that, Sean. Send my love to Maki. Webster Style, what you got going on? I know you got some new Fragrance Cat. Was it Fragrance Cat? Some new interview I saw you drop not too long ago.
I dropped a new interview with George Zaharoff, who is over Zahara Fragrances. I talk about them a lot, so that new interview is up. Also, at the time, whenever this comes out, I'll have a review of King All Natural Deodorant dropping as well, all that on YouTube and WebsterStyle.com. But you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at WebsterStyle, TikTok _WebsterStyle, and everything and anything that is WebsterStyle can be found at WebsterStyle.com.
There you go. Show love to my homies up there. Sean Mongold, Webster Style. For me, I'm on Twitter, TikTok, IG Hive, at the Legend Kuya P. I want to be part of the Cool Kids Club. So if you got one of them Blue Sky invites, holla at your boy, or whatever these new kids are doing. And I feel like I want to be part of the Cool Kids Club. So look your boy up. The Legend Kuya P, here with Sean and Eldon at the NRW and that Newless Wednesday. That's our channel, y'all. Just subscribe, just follow us on our things. We greatly appreciate it. That has been another KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. I can't talk anymore, y'all. I must be tired. We're out of here, y'all. I'm getting counted out. Here we go. In a 3, 2, 1. We out, y'all.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you. Well, you're not gonna bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before. You can hide behind that commissioner stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
The Rock just jerked Helmsley off.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft overtime if you catch my meaning.
I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do.
Oh, no! That's it, Corey boy. And I'm coming hard.